Good morning. It's Tim here. Gonna continue on with my reading this morning. Just to kind of get started off, actually, I want to just show you something real quick here. So I have this English Standard Version Bible, and in the back there's this thing called the Thompson Chain Reference. And if you don't know, let me just show you. So what this is, it's got this section, all these topics in the back here, organized. So it's got all the scriptures for different names, places, concepts, different words throughout the whole Bible. So these guys have gone through and indexed everything and kind of say, well, where is the words, or where's the notion of, let's say, fidelity? Where does that come up all throughout Scripture? So some of these words, they'll have like a section where you can read. There's a big chunk of verses there you can go through. And then they'll pre-print some of them here just as easy reference, so you can just kind of at a glance read through those. So what I'm doing as part of my Bible studying is I'll pick a word, and then I'll go through and I'll write down on a piece of paper like this. I'll say, okay, well, what are all the stuff I want to read? I'll read about this one topic from the whole book, whole Bible, because what that does for you is it gives you a good cross section of all what the Old Testament says, what the New Testament says, and it gives you a good cross section of what's up. But what's also kind of cool is, so they kind of organize these words based on kind of similar things. So self-sacrifice, you got stubbornness here, you got will, and so you can see that there's kind of some themes that are very, very similar contextually, right? So it's very, very relational that way. But here's 3229. So I took this whole section here and I wrote this into my handwritten chicken scratcher, and that's what I'm doing. So I've gone through, I think, all of Deuteronomy, and I did 1 Samuel yesterday. So we're going to go through 2 Kings 5:12, and we'll see what that says today. So I'll start scrolling through the Bible. Numbers. Leviticus. Numbers. Deuteronomy. First 2 Kings, and I'm looking for 2 Kings 5:16. That's right? Say 5:12. Joshua, Judges, Ruth, Samuel, Kings, 1 Kings, no, 2 Kings, not the 1 Kings. Sorry, I missed my face. Okay, back in here. 2 Kings. Yeah, 5:12. All right. I always forget the verses so fast. So fast. Okay. All right, so what do we got here? 5:12. So, verse 12, 2 Kings 5:12. Are not Alana and Pharpar, the rivers of Damascus, better than all waters of Israel? Could I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went away in a rage. So it looks like the sentence there, could I not wash in them and be clean, is demonstrating some stubbornness. So let's look at the big broader context here. So this is, the heading here says Naaman healed of leprosy. So Naaman, looks like in verse 1, Naaman, commander of the army of the king of Syria, was a great man with his master and in high favor, because by him the Lord had given victory to Syria. He was a mighty man of valor, but he was a leper. And remember, back then, being a leper was your social outcast, kind of. Now the Syrians, on one of their raids, had carried off a little girl from the land of Israel, and she worked in the service of Naaman's wife. She said to her mistress, Would that, my lord, were the prophet who is in Samaria. He could cure him of his leprosy. So Naaman went in and told his lord thus, and so spoke the girl from the land of Israel. And the king of Syria said, Go now, I will send a letter to the king of Israel. So he went, taking with him 10 talents of silver, 6,000 shekels of gold, and 10 changes of clothing. Brought the letter to the king, and which read, When this letter reaches you, know that I have sent to you Naaman my servant, that you may cure him of his leprosy. And when the king of Israel read the letter, he tore his clothes and said, Am I God, to kill and make alive, that this man sends words to me to cure a man of his leprosy? Only consider and see how he is seeking a quarrel with me. But when Elisha, the man of God, so Elisha was a prophet, when Elisha heard that the king of Israel had torn his clothes, he sent to the king, saying, Why have you torn your clothes? Let him come now to me, that he may know that there is a prophet in Israel. So Naaman came with his horses and chariots and stood at the door of Elisha's house. Elisha sent a messenger to him, saying, Go and wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your flesh will be restored, and you shall be clean. But Naaman was angry, and went away, saying, Behold, I thought he would surely come out to me, and stand and call upon the name of his Lord his God, and wave his hand over the place, and cure the leper. Are not Elana and Parphar the rivers of Damascus better than are not the waters? Okay, so I got a picture here. Okay, let me explain this. So these guys walked very, very far. They came to a long distance, and they know about these lovely rivers, Abana and Parphar, sure, over in Damascus. And so they're like, well, we got these great rivers over here. You're telling us to go to this river Jordan and wash there. Well, aren't these other rivers better? Like, they're kind of being obstinate. Like, they've just been told, hey, we have our own idea. Thanks. We expect you to dance the way we want you to dance. And, if we think about the reading I went through yesterday, where King Saul was told, hey, I want you to go wipe out these Amalekites. I want you to destroy everything. You're to not keep any spoils. All the people must be wiped out. But he didn't. He kept the best stuff on the guise that he was going to keep something for himself. Basically, he wanted to keep some of the best gold and the best animals, like the sheep and goats and such. Saying, oh, well, we're going to do a big sacrifice to God. But reality is, he was afraid of his people who were with him. They're like, well, we don't want to get rid of all this stuff. It's like valuable. So he veered from God's will. This is what's happening here too. They went to the prophet. The prophet said, do this, and then they balk. Don't we do that with God all the time? Hey, I mean, how many times do you as a business owner, like, I got my own idea here. I want this and this and this to happen in exactly this order and on exactly this timeline. But then God's like, no, just go over and do this other thing. All right. And then we get, this is the whole thing, right? Stubbornness is really the opposite of obedience. Like, it's like stubbornness of having our own way. So that's what I'm really reading here. I get it now. I'm seeing this from a different light, and I'm just feeling like it's hilarious now because I see this in myself so often. It's like, well, that doesn't have the smell of good things to come. So, because in my mind, I do this. I fast forward the tape. I'm like, well, I can kind of see where this is going to go. That doesn't sound like it's in the direction that I'm wanting to go, but here we are. So it's really a trick. It's a mental journey to just put that aside, and just say, okay, well, you got me, God. You can pull this one out. You know what you're doing. You've made universes. Perfect. Let's go with what you said. Yeah. So let's just conclude here. So, again, this is 2 Kings 5. This is verse 14. So he went down and dipped himself 7 times in the Jordan, according to the word of the man of God. And his flesh was restored like the flesh of a little child, and he was clean. So that "and he was clean" was a bit different. There's a separate healing there too, right? Because physically healed, and like I said before, when you were a leopard back then, not a leopard, not the animal with the spots, a leper with a disease on your flesh, you were deemed unclean. You were deemed unworthy. You were kind of an outcast, essentially. This guy was not part of the Israeli nation, so he wasn't subject to that per se, but he would have been ceremonial unclean, and so this is like a double healing. He was physically healed and spiritually restored. So that's a pretty cool thing, just through his obedience. So he did balk. He did do it anyways. So that's a good thing. So that's our takeaway for today. Hope you have a less stubborn day. I hope I do too. God bless.